Right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start the Planning Committee meeting 21st of October 2015. Good evening and welcome to the meeting tonight. Members requesting to speak under Council Procedure 24.1 this evening are Councillor Townsend, agenda item number 4, Councillor Crowe-Brown, agenda item number 4, Councillor Taylor-Smith, agenda item number 4 and 5A, Councillor Helen Smith, agenda item number 4, Councillor Ash Aspey, agenda item number 4, Councillor Brim also wants to speak under 5C, and Councillor Ashby under agenda item 5H. Now we move on to agenda item number 4, Building 870 at Manston Airport, Manston, F/TH 15, you've all seen it. Please refer to the supplementary agenda. Speaking under this item first will be Councillor Taylor-Smith.
I first would like to start with actually asking a question to the officers, if I may. Having read very carefully the annex where the conditions are, I haven't been able to locate, perhaps you can help me, a condition relating to an obstruction light. If you look in the report on page 2 at 2.5.2, there's a recommendation that an obstruction light is installed at the highest point on the extension in the event that the airport reopens. I don't know whether that should be considered as a condition, but I think it would be quite helpful if the officer would care to comment on that before I say anything more. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll address it in the presentation if that's okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will now continue. I'm grateful to have sight of the rather limited comments received from the CAA, and I'd like to thank Ian Livingston for providing this to members at my request, to all Planning Committee members, along with the notes from AV8. Given the importance of this application, I was rather surprised to see that these comments are brief. This is such an important application, it is essential that any decision is based on facts and comprehensive and detailed documentation. Additionally, I understand that the traffic survey was undertaken in May this year when the 2 access points were envisaged, and I wondered if it was still considered relevant or whether this needs to be repeated. I mean, obviously we all know that Spitfire Way is a very congested junction, and I just would ask the officer maybe to address that point also when he comes back later. And it's also worth mentioning that although the positioning of the proposed car parking area in New Tower seemed to show that there would be sufficient space for an aircraft to pass along in a straight line, there is unlikely to be sufficient room if an aircraft wishes to turn around, and this would probably necessitate it being pushed back for some considerable distance. This would likely add considerable costs and also impact airtime and increase diesel pollution. And should it be the case that lasers are being utilised on the application site, I'd like also to suggest a condition to the effect that should the airport be granted a licence by the CAA again in the future to become operational, this activity, if required by the CAA to cease, would do so. However, none of this changes the fact that the site is currently designated as an airport in the current TDC plan, and I reference CC1, EC2, EC4 and SPO5, as well as the emerging local plan. And as such, this application for change of use should be refused unless and until the designation of this site as an airport is removed.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Councillor Taylor-Smith. Speaking next under Rule 24.1 is Councillor Townend.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, it is Townend. I'm standing in today really for Councillor Brenda Rogers, who made a report the last time this came up, and it's much the same. Again, the points raised are the fact that If you overlay the diagram with the purchase digital ordnance survey data and add digital data from Cargo Lux's preferred freighter 7478E, it is immediately clear that the proposal, as currently submitted, will form a major impediment to planes accessing any of the other aviation use-only buildings and hangars along the taxiway. Also, it is important to understand Instro is a company working in the field of sensitive military applications and have already been the subject of a number of disruptive actions by protesters. Placing their facility within the confines of an operational airport, especially one that could be considered for diversionary use in the event of terrorist action, would present security issues that so far do not appear to have been addressed. One further point relating to Instro's business is that they specialise in very high specification electro-optical equipment, the testing of which requires minimal vibration. This is hardly likely to be achieved so close to an aircraft taxiway.
Thank you very much for your comments, Councillor Townend.